Choosing and installing backsplash tile is the easiest thing you will ever do in your kitchen. What? Because everything's in place. The timing is perfect. Your cabinets are in, your flooring's in, the windows and doors and walls are up, the electrical has been run. So everything should be easy, right? Then how come that's the part that all of my clients struggle with? If everything's in place, it should be easy to choose a tile. It just goes with everything you've got already. But backsplashes tend to be the place where people lose their marbles. They can't decide. They don't know where to end it. They don't know whether to go up the wall. What do we do with the Peninsula? In this video, I'm going to try and answer some of those questions. First up, where do you end the tile? When you've got a run of cabinetry and countertop and they don't line up, shame on your kitchen designer. Shame! Shame on your contractor. Shame! Shame on everyone for not noticing this. Shame! Believe it or not, in this 1990s hideous kitchen, this is done right. Tiles should die into the countertop. They extended the countertop, which was popular in the 90s, there. But what they did right was they brought the tile down to here. Now my guess is they probably wanted to bring it out to here, but the light switch was in the way. Thank goodness. Line them up. The days of setting it back in 2 inches are over. Line it up. We like symmetry. In the case that it hasn't been lined up, what are you gonna do? I'm making a rule right now. This is a Design Sherpa rule. You can follow it or not, but tile dies in the countertop. You do not extend beyond the cabinetry. End of story. Now what do if your electrician snuck in there in the middle of the night and stuck a switch there or an outlet? Well, there's a couple of things you could do. One is find a deep hole and put the electrician in it. You can move the outlet. It's very simple. It's a couple of screws and some drywall. It's not that hard. People may be a little unhappy with you, but it's your house. You'll be a little unhappy with that switch being in the spot where it is for the rest of your life while they're home with their switches in the right spots. So one option is to have the electrician move the outlet. If they are unwilling or unable to do that, or if it's already in place, there's a couple of things you can do. Make it deliberate. Make it look like that's the way you always intended it to be. Add a shelf above, add artwork, add something that's going to balance it. Now when it comes to a Peninsula and where to end the backsplash, this is really challenging for most people because the countertop extends far beyond the cabinets. Same rule applies, die at the cabinetry. If you're not able to do that or you want to extend it out, make sure that you thought about this and it looks deliberate and not like an afterthought where you were just throwing tile up on wall that was exposed. Add a floating shelf above it. Add artwork that's going to balance out the weight of it. Make it make sense. If you're going to take that tile all the way out to the end of the countertop and up the wall, add something to that so it doesn't look like McDonald's. You don't want to make your kitchen look like a science lab, so lay off tiling the sidewalls. You don't want to extend it out like that and give it an institutional feeling. There's no need for this. What other problems do we have with tile? Oh, choosing it. Yeah, choosing it. When you want to choose tile, how can I help? I can't. You have to pick it yourself. What I can do is share my tips. And one of them is just look around. What else do you have going on? Make yourself a physical mood board with your cabinet doors, your countertop, the paint color if you've got it. Anything else that's present in the room or in the house that's going to affect the vibe, and that will help you choose, because if you got shaker cabinets and little cup pulls, you're probably not going to want metallic little thin tiles. They just don't go together. By knowing what the style and the vibe of the entire kitchen is, it will narrow your choices. Once you've got it narrowed to maybe a colorway or a shape or a finish, do it in threes. Pick three, pick one you like, throw out the other two. Get another three together. Pick three, pick the one you like, throw the other two out. And work through until you've narrowed it down. Make sure you take it home, look at it in different times of day. Glass tile especially will change with the day and the light in the room and what it's near. So make sure you take it home and you look at it in your space. As far as the patterns that are available and the colors and all that, you gotta choose. I can't do it for you. I'm here inside a little box. You're out there, you choose. What can you live with? Can you live with a really busy, bold pattern every day? Would white subway bore you to death? trends in Backsplash have been to really simplify what's going on back there. So you don't see a lot of the mosaics behind the range and all of the bullnose and the special accent tiles. That doesn't mean you can't do it if you don't want. Choosing tile is really difficult. I lived in a house for 13 years and I never picked a backsplash, so I know your pain. I have a theory about why backsplashes are so hard to do, and the reason is the timing. We think it's perfect. We've got all these other elements in the room. We can tell it's easy. We can just compare it to our cabinets and our countertop and we can make sure it goes, right? It should be easy. The problem is, at this point in your kitchen design, you've made probably 50 to 100,000 decisions, little tiny decisions. Chinese water torture, wearing away at your resistance, wearing away at your strength, wearing away at your ability to make a decision. If you're just starting out, think about that backsplash now. Think about the location of the switches and the electrical, and think about the style and the design you want now. Long before the kitchen goes in and the drywall goes up, you do an electrical walkthrough. So when you walk through with your electrician, make sure you tell him what your plan is for the kitchen, and you can adjust that as you go. If you make changes, keep him informed about what's going on so that you can move those outlets if you decide to extend the tile or put a cabinet there or whatever it may be. Now, if you've never done an electrical walkthrough, you can check out my video on that. If you wait till the end of the process, you're fried, and you don't want to make a big decision like tile that's hard to take off. It costs a lot of money. Of all the surfaces, this one really shows. It really pops. We light it up with under-counter cabinet lights. It always comes down to planning. So if you think about your tile, you don't have to choose it now, but if you think about the layout, where you want it to end, where the switches are going to go, all of that stuff ahead of time, your future self is going to thank you. I tell my daughter this all the time. Study for 15 minutes so you're not up till 2 a.m. the night before an exam. Do the same for yourself. Think about these decisions long before you have to make them so that you're not rushed, because the tile, the backsplash shows. So we want to get it right. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.